boat plane hit the tower. The life was changed in that hour. Everything was frozen. When I was there, then FBI approached me. We need to interrogate you. They put me in the car, handcuffed me, took him to the center in Long Island. And I never give up. I never bow down. I never lost faith in Allah. Here in US, Democrat is a good party. Whatever is happening currently, what Biden is doing, it's not just his decision. It has Senate and Congress behind him. If you are loving someone, you must love them with all good and bad. And if you're going to have strings attached to it, then this is not love. That's a compromise. But the problem with the Trump, he's got a mega movement. Money talks, right? I hope he doesn't win. But if he did, the brown people will have trouble. I can tell you that.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एंड हेलो एवरीवन वेलकम बैक टू द शो। आज पहला पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं हम इस स्टूडियो के अंदर, तो उसके लिए विश मी लक। और जो आज का पॉडकास्ट है वो नहायत स्पेशल है, क्योंकि जो मेरे साथ आज गेस्ट हैं वो बहुत स्पेशल हैं। अगर मैं उनके कारनामों की बात करूं तो बहुत ही लंबी फहरिस्त है। मैं किस किस का नाम लूं, मुझे सोचना पड़ेगा, शायद उसके अंदर फ़िल्टर करना पड़ेगा। अभी अगर करंट अफेयर्स की बात करूं तो वो वाइस चेयरमैन है डेमोक्रेट पार्टी के न्यूयॉर्क के, और इसी तरह वो प्रेसिडेंट है CDRS ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के US और यूरोप के। इसी तरह बहुत सी NGOs के साथ काम करते हैं, और प्लस वो एक ऑथर भी हैं। एक अभी उन्होंने उनकी बुक पब्लिश हुई विच वाज अबाउट सर्वाइविंग 9/11। वो एक बड़ा इम्पॉर्टेंट किस्सा है इनकी जो स्ट्रगल या इनकी जर्नी का। वो ये है कि उसके बारे में हम मज़ीद जानेंगे, लेकिन इन जनरल अगर मैं आपको बताता चलूँ तो वो जो 9/11 का एक हादसा था, उसके अंदर उनकी ज़िंदगी बहुत सी अफेक्ट हुई, उसके बारे में हम जानेंगे। और बल्कि फिर जॉर्ज बुश थे, हिलरी क्लिंटन और कांग्रेस को ये एक्नॉलेज करना पड़ा जो उनके साथ नाइंसाफ़ियाँ या ज़्यादतियाँ हुई उसको। और फिर उसी पे उनकी किताब भी है जिसको आप पढ़िएगा भी, मैं उसका लिंक भी शेयर करूँगा। तो बाकी ये सारी चीज़ें उनसे हम जानते हैं, और बल्कि वो वाहिद आई गेस पाकिस्तानी होंगे जो इस मुल्क से डिपोर्ट हुए, और जब वो वापस आए तो उस मुल्क ने दोबारा उनको उसी खूबसूरती से अपनाया, उनको सारे ओहदों पे बहाल किया। तो ये बड़ी खूबसूरत जर्नी है एक शख्स की जिसने हिम्मत नहीं हारी, थ्रू आउट स्ट्रगल करते रहे, और फिर वो यहाँ तक पहुँचे। आज एक बड़े ही नामवर शख्स हैं और उन्हें अच्छे लफ्ज़ों में याद किया जाता है, एडम आज़म खान। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, कैसे हैं
Walaikum
आप?
salam. Thank you for inviting me.
सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग। आपने टाइम दिया, हम उसके लिए आपके मशकूर हैं। आप ऑब्वियसली इतनी मसरूफियत के बाद आपने टाइम दिया, तो उसके लिए थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग।
I just must tell you कि time आपको मुझे देना पड़ा because you deserve it and what you're doing for community and your initiative, it's absolutely applaud for it, and all of our community should and must support you, including myself.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। मैंने ना ये बड़े लोगों के बारे में ना मैं अक्सर नोटिस करता हूँ कि जो बड़े शख्स होते हैं ना, उनके साथ बैठ के ना आपको बड़ा महसूस होता है। वो इतना खूबसूरती से महसूस कराते हैं, आपको कभी फील ही नहीं होता कि शायद आप छोटे शख्स हो, तो वो आपको बड़ा महसूस कराते हैं। तो ये बड़े शख्स की जो निशानी है उनमें से मुझे लगता है ये एक निशानी है।
I'm just a humble person.
जी जी।
I'm doing this in English because I
या
want all our English speaking and
ऑडियंस आज।
non-English speaking
या
people must see that, because I have 10,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram
आई
and
गेट इट।
LinkedIn. So when it goes professionally all over the world, they should and understand
या
what we are talking about. So that's why I'm saying. Otherwise, Urdu is my language. Allah, Urdu मुझे बहुत अच्छी आती है.
That I know for sure that you speak Urdu very well, and we had the conversation in Urdu. But it's good we can have the conversation in English because, like, obviously the experience we had was in the New York market, especially in the US. So yeah, we can target mass audience in terms of like obviously the viewing and etc. First of all, अगर अगर आप अपना तारुफ कराएं, like how do you introduce yourself to the other people?
Um, I always say that I'm just a normal person who has basically gone into a different things happen to his life. Basically,
Right.
I'm a very hardworking man. I'm honest individual, and the upbringing. I always say thanks to my late mom and dad, who actually gave me such a great personality, education, family values, and I follow that. And because of that, where I am right now, that you are praising me, but only praise to Allah, and because I am His banda. But this is something always goes to your parents. If
True.
they give you a good education in the beginning, you 100% come out a good person. So, in short, I'm an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
businessman, author, philanthropist, community activist, politician, a good politician, not the typical politician. And we will talk about it when I mean
Yeah.
a typical politician or a good politician, because the word good politician does not really exist.
Yeah.
So whenever you say you're a politician, people get a negative impact on you.
Just a light question, like in Pakistani politics, I guess this word doesn't exist. Is it the same in the US, or it's kind of different?
See, politics in whole is a very, I don't want to say the word, but it's very crazy things about politics. People come in politics for power,
True.
for money, for contacts, and they do good and bad things, right? I came into the politics and I do not want any of those things, because before I come to the politics, I've been well known in the international media, right? So people knows
Yeah.
me without me trying to know, let them know who I am. So they know me that way. Money wise, alhamdulillah, I'm comfortable. Alhamdulillah. As far as fame, people knows me all over the United States in a good
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
So politics, I'm coming in just to bring the change. What I see, there's a lack of things existing in our community and our constituency and wherever you live. There's a lot missing, and you need
True.
to have a good person who can actually bring those changes into the politics and make a different change to the world. Let people know that politics can be this way, not just the other way around.
So I was talking. The best thing I found about you is, like, I have seen a lot of politicians. I met a lot of people, but you have supported politics a lot. Like, you tell us that you should join politics, and if we actually want to change, like, the world, or maybe a country or a state we live in, you endorse politics. And this is very good, because, like, these days it's very strange for other people to join politics in general, because, like, we don't talk about politics that much. And yeah, we do criticize people, but we don't want to be a part of it. And which we discussed before the podcast, that it is very important, if we want to bring that change, we have to be the part of it. Like, we need to talk from the position of power, right?
Correct.
So this is and how does it come, like, why is that, like, because you have been a part of politics, why is that you support other people in
So
general?
I started politics when I was very young,
Yeah.
right? Back in Pakistan, I was with Pakistan People's Party.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was People Student Federation in a university. Then I joined actual People's Party, and I've done whatever it takes to help the party. And so I was at the position where I can make and bring some changes to the party. And Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, I knew her, I met her, and she also gave me a good job in Pakistan at that time. It's not because she liked me; it's because in lieu of my services and also on my qualifications. I'm not a person who took the job because I was a political party member. I deserved it and I took the job, basically. So politics is in my blood. It's always in there. After Benazir Bhutto died, the party changed. So a lot of things happened which I didn't like it. At that point, I joined PTI, Imran Khan Saab. And I must tell you, this man is doing the best he could. And I know there's a lot of critics about him, that he's done this bad, that bad. till today, there is nothing proven, right? So, in my personal opinion, I met him. I found him a man of intelligence, a man of dignity, and he's a good guy. Right? Problem in our country is we don't give the real power to someone to do something about it. But we would love to give power to someone who doesn't do anything, but he will make a mess, which you have seen in Pakistan's politics recently. So I came to the politics through that channel. Then I came to United States, and obviously the transition. So Pakistan politics is a dirty politics. It's a bloody politics, right? I had been an assassination attempt on me in Pakistan. That's why it's in my book. And I came to US just because of that. I was happy in Pakistan, but when it happens, I had to leave and save myself and my wife. So when I came to US, obviously, I've seen a different world, different politics. But at the same time, there is corruption here too. So corruption always existed in politics. It will never go away. So why I decide to come into the politics, because I want to bring that change.
True.
And my whole goal, or what I want to do, is I want to bring people like you, young people, who are not corrupted, who have a clear vision. You understand IT and AI and all those things, right? You know that, but you don't have the guidance, and you already been through with all these politics bad tactics, and you're like, I don't want to be a politician.
True.
I don't want to have a bad name next to me. So you don't want to do it. So I decided to bring that culture out. So I've been talking to youngsters. My slogan is "We are together," right? And we need to bring young people into the U.S. politics, because when young people come into the politics, you're gonna have a younger presidents, right? Better politics, less corruption. I'm not saying it's not going to be no corruption, because I cannot guarantee anyone else. But what we can do is bring the change, and obviously, ultimately, is going to be taking over that way. So my slogan is bring the young people and let's work it from there. And this is what has been happening. I ran for state senate,
Yeah.
and I met so many young people, and they're like, "Oh, I want to be in politics." They're just now understanding. And I change the vision. And I tell them, say, look, you're going to get a good salary as a politician. You get a lot of perks, legal way, and you got fame and you got power. But use it in a right direction, not in wrong way. So this is why I'm in politics. And then my party in a Democrat Party, I've seen that what I'm trying to do. So they offered me the job. They said, okay, we want you to become our vice chair for the Democrat Party for New York State. I happily took it, and I will bring that change.
That's beautiful, Khan Sahab. And yeah, we want people like you who support other people. As we were talking about the community, like if you want to support your community, you just go for it, support other people, and bring that change by yourself. Like as we discussed, be the change you want to see in the world. So that's commendable. That's beautiful. Before taking things further, I would like you to tell us about your childhood. Where were you born, so people can actually relate with you.
So I was born in Pakistan, Karachi,
Uh huh.
uh, a great country. I always say that Pakistan, if you actually go to the northern areas and all,
Been there.
the
It's
beauty is there.
true.
You have Switzerland there,
Yeah.
right? You have Germany there, you have
True.
United Kingdom there,
Yeah,
you have USA there,
that's
you
true.
have Japan there. You've got to see it. So I'm very proud that this is where I'm from. When people say that, oh, I'm an American and I don't like to meet with Desi, wait a minute. Your roots are who you are.
True.
In United States, nobody can claim that this is their country. Yes, you
True.
are the citizen of this country, but
True.
your ancestors came from somewhere,
True.
except indigenous people. That's what the America belongs.
True.
Indigenous people. So Italian, Greek, and German, and Jewish, and Muslims, and Indian, everybody comes from there. So now you are a citizen of this country, but don't forget where you're from. So I grew up there. Thank God I was born in a very good family, so I'm being like silver spoon fed. But I was never a child who act like silver spoon fed. I always try to help people. So I went to a grammar school in the beginning, which is Grand Fox English School. It was in near Islamia College in Muslimabad.
Mm-hmm.
One of the top three school in the Karachi at that time. Is that school is no longer because our principal, Mr. Abdul Aziz, died, and after that, the school didn't last. It's closed down. So I got my education from there. Then I went to college, PECHS College in Karachi. Then I went to Karachi University. Political science was my subject. Uh, I've done also CSS, Civil Superior
Yeah,
Services
I just
exam.
read that in the
So
book.
I've
Yeah.
done that. So I had a good ambition to stay in Pakistan and to serve Pakistan.
And so I have a question. So after doing civil services, I just read that you also joined People's Party, like that student federation. First of all, how is the process? Like you have worked in People's Party and you have worked with those big wigs like Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Benazir Bhutto. So just two questions I would like to add. How was the experience working with those people, especially the party which says that they are
People's Party.
the People's Party is the most democratic party, as we have read, and they have been they have been very supportive throughout. For they have worked hard for democracy and even given lives for that, right? How was the experience with working those people? Especially, I just read in the book that you learned negotiations from Benazir Bhutto. I would like you to shed some light on it. Plus, how was the that politics which you learned from those people helped you in the US, and how what's the difference between both of the politics in
So
general?
in a whole, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto created this party
Yeah,
for the people, like poor people, basically. It was not the party for the rich.
true.
And he did a good job. And again, everybody has their faults.
Yeah,
Everybody makes mistakes. And obviously, he did whatever mistakes he did. But he did some good, right? As well as Benazir Bhutto, first prime minister, Muslim prime minister. And she, as a person, when I met, great personality, good person, tried to do good for Pakistan. But at the same time, I don't want to mention any name, but there are some wrong things happened. There are some wrong people joined her. So when you are in Pakistan, what I notice, you are in power, but you're not in power, right?
yeah.
So basically, Benazir Bhutto was in power and he's the prime minister, but people behind you, those are controlling you. And what I've seen it, that she was helpless. She couldn't do what she wanted to do because she had been governed and instructed by those authorities, and she couldn't do it. So when I worked with there and I tried to do the good things, and I was basically being getting the blocks whenever I want to do something. Oh, you can't do this. I'm like, why? You can do this. So that gives me a feeling that I do not belong here when I want to do this party things, because that is a block here. If you do this, you will get consequences. So basically, you're not really able to do anything in Pakistan politics,
So
right?
you're not in the power
You're
actually.
not
Someone
like Imran
is
Khan.
pulling the strings, right?
Imran Khan came into power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Full majority, everybody loves him, and he did all the good thing happen in the history of Pakistan. Economy was great and all those things. But what authority did to him? He's in the prison. Every single tactics in the world they did to get him to bow down. He didn't bow down. He said, I'm not going to bow down. Kill me, right? So when I came to US, I see a different world. And I said, well, that's the different politics here. You can do things, but to a certain extent. Here is not like Pakistan, but still you have to work within the guidelines of the party. So in US, obviously it needs a change. That's exactly what I want to do. That we should work. The, in my opinion, politician is chosen by the party, by the people. Why? Because we want you as a representative do good for us, right? But when you go to the assembly or the senate or the congress, you don't do anything for us. You do whatever party wants you to do,
True.
right? You're not doing for the country. And that part, I don't like it. I want to be a person who's been chosen by the people, and what I committed to do, let me do it. And that is where I see the blocks. So if I'm able to bring like minded people, maybe you join and whoever is watching, they join, and we are all talking about the betterment of this country, like our forefathers in the United States do, like what our Constitution says, freedom of speech.
I
Freedom of speech is there, but it's not there.
I get it.
You know.
I get it. So, one another question I would like to add. So, you have been a friend of Imran Khan, as I know, and you have been the founding member of Imran Khan. And being a politician in the US and having that post now you are having, so you have seen both of the politics very closely. So in Pakistan, there's we discuss a lot of things that US plays a very important role in Pakistani politics. Even I have heard there was a former ISI chief of Pakistan which said that army chief of Pakistan is appointed by the US mostly. What's your take on
Well, it is a very
it?
debatable question, but everybody knows what's happening in Pakistan. I mean, whether you say it in public or not, if Pakistan was in control of the Pakistani people, then we wouldn't have Imran Khan in jail. We
So
don't.
who's controlling Pakistan actually?
Oh, well, it's as I said, this is a debatable question because who is controlling and how is controlling? You go back to prior to the 1947, right? When Pakistan was created and how it was created and what happened afterwards. Who actually got the strength and power? Who took it? And who gave it to them? It's a very it's a very deep question. You know, I wouldn't think it would be any justice in this sitting that we can talk because
About
it's a big question. Honestly, there's too many names there, too many people there, and it's just. But we know what's happening in Pakistan. You know.
yeah, yeah, I get it. So let's talk about other thing like which I read in the book that you have learned a lot of things from Benazir Bhutto. I have a very the question I have is actually, so you learned negotiations from Benazir Bhutto, and as we have heard or read that People's Party like a party, it has been a party which has which has those roots of those democracy because which Zulfikar Ali Bhutto gave. And all the People's Party, like all the members of People's Party, have been good with negotiations, like Asif Ali Zardari right now. So, what was the experience? And like you have worked with her, how do they cope up with that thing? Like, how do they negotiate on things very easily? Like they do big things very easily. How was the experience?
So what I've learned is when you are in talks with anyone, it's kind of a sales, right? Sales is an art. And every good politician or a businessman or a prime minister has to be a good salesperson. If you cannot sell, you cannot get anything. And I call myself that I'm a sales guy, a good sales guy, not the one who try to sell sands to the Arab and ice to the Eskimos because that's crook,
I
right?
get it.
That's a crooked way. I'm a good sales means you need to bring on table what you want rather than give it away by just, oh, okay, you're going to give me that. Oh, hey, you can have the entire country. No, you need to negotiate. What is in it for me? and what I'm going to do for my people. So whenever what I learned from Benazir Bhutto is she never did anything for her. She asked for the country. So if I do this, what is my country is going to get? But what other politicians are doing, and I'm not going to mention any name, they said, what is for me? They said, $10 million. Dollars. Great. Can you put him into my foreign account? Okay. Screw the country, right? So I learned in negotiations, you need to bring out what you want and always try to do whatever this motive behind it, a good motive. And then you can have it. Because if you and me talking and you are negotiating with me, you also want good for yourself. I want good for myself. And we need to meet somewhere. And a good negotiator knows that this is the mute point, whether I'm going to take it or leave it. So I've been very successful. Whenever I'm on negotiating table, 98% of the time I negotiated well and I get successful.
That's a very beautiful perspective, and I loved it. And even my father always used to teach me something, that always have a table talk. Things get better when you talk.
Correct.
So if you have an issue, just have a conversation and you'll get it fixed. So if we don't talk, obviously the issues cannot be resolved. So we need to have that table talk thing. So you gave me a beautiful perspective. So another question I would like to have is like you had those attempts, assassination attempts. I don't know you are comfortable with this, like discussing that thing or not. I would just want a perspective, like how was the life when you were, like obviously you were doing great things, you were the general secretary of People's Party, and you have also worked in Pakistan mills, like steel mills, right? So you were having those threats, and because of that you had to leave your country. How was that, like that experience?
So remember I said dirty politics and bloody politics? So that's what I mean. So, and it's a very horrible thing in Pakistan that if one party loses power, the other one is trying to kill the other people. Why?
True.
It's just a change of party. Let them do the transition and move on. So I was the assistant manager in Pakistan Steel, and when in 1988, people's the I think MQM they took over the Pakistan Steel Mill, and it was all in the newspaper. They put live people into the steel furnace. They took the nails of their hands and drill in their legs and all those things. So I was in my office in SMPC steelmaking plant complex, and I've seen all these people. Then I feel like I'm hearing all these gunshots, and I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen here? And they're all sitting with me, like they're all my subordinates, but I see there is a different thing happening. I don't know if you've watched the movie Caesar.
I haven't watched that.
So watch that. And in that movie, Caesar was killed by his best friend Brutus. So Italian, it says when he was killing him, the first dagger he put him in his heart, and he says, "Eto Brutus," means you too, Brutus. I trusted you, and you killing me. So when I was this happening, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I get out, and they're like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm just going for a cigarette." Right? Because I had a feeling somebody's telling in my mind, "Get out." I get out, and I go, 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 and then I start seeing that, hearing sound of firing and all that. So I start running. I start running, and then another guy says, "They're firing at you. Where are you going?" I'm like, "Who's firing?" And I turn around and I see they're firing. I'm like, "Oh my God." Do zigzag and all those things. I ran from there to the steel mill gate, which was almost half a mile, right? Running for my life. I haven't done anything wrong. So then I took the bus. There was a bus going, and I saved my life. And then I came home, and I'm saying, okay, what do I do? And I have a newlywed wife and pregnant. And she's like scared. What's going to happen? I said, oh, I don't. It should be okay. This was only steel mill thing. I'm not going back. I said, okay. Then they do a second attempt near my house, fire at me. Now I took it serious. I said, you know what? This look like they want to kill me. Because prior to that, they killed the PSF president Najib, point blank shoot in North Nazabad. And I was a good friend of him. He actually studied in my same school. So then I just say I gotta get up. So we basically applied for the visa, came to United States. And and the sad part of the story is that all my talent that I'm giving here, it could have been used over there and I could have done
Yeah,
a lot better.
true.
But then I came to USA, and to be honest with you, we came in because we left in so early and everything. I only have $1,500,
I read that in the book.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
$1,500.
I was just going to ask you about that thing. So let's put it like in this way. So with the a person like who had this big background, like you were like a part of big political party, and you were like with those people who were in power actually, and you had that experience. You were the general manager of in assistant manager in
Still,
Pakistan steel mills. So obviously you had that big thing, and you were the always you are also passed that civil services exam. Moving to US, leaving your country, which was obviously very sad because like the situation you were in, it was actually sad, and
yeah.
you came here with obviously your pregnant wife, and it was obviously it was going to be very hard for you guys, and the money you had was obviously very little. It in the book it was 1,500 or maybe $2,000. So coming with that background and starting fresh without money, how was that experience? And what were you thinking at that time?
So this is something I wrote in my book, and all the viewers who are watching or listening to me, you probably have not met a person who has gone to zero to hero
Yeah,
5 times
true.
in their life. And I never give up. I never bow down. I never lost faith in Allah. And I
Beautiful.
said, okay, it is what it is. Let's move on. So coming from a good background and coming to USA with a little money, and I landed to her brother's house. I had also a ego in my heart that I don't want to be a burden to
Right.
someone.
Yeah.
So when we landed to her brother house, I give that 1,500 to him. I said, look, this is the money I have, and that's it.
That's
And I'm going to find the job. And he said, no, 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 no. I'm not taking. I said, if you're not taking money, I'm going to the hotel. I cannot stay in your house. So I forced him to do that. And he was very much helpful and opened his arms and everything. And we found a job. And you cannot believe if somebody coming from a good background and has got a power and money and all that, and I got a job in Flushing, 7 station train station. Right after that, still they have that kiosk, a news agent, which is quarter of this room. Night job, selling newspaper, pregnant wife, and she's worried about me because over there at that time they used to kill people just for money. So what they would do, they would come to my news agent place and they say, "Give me the money you got." And I'm being Pakistani with all this courage, not giving you the money. And they're showing me the knife, and I said, kill me. So I had so many times, occasion they're trying to do that for me, and I just didn't want to do it. So the owner said, why are you killing, man? Just give him the money. I said, I don't want to give up this. He said, no, it's my money. Give him the money. So I worked there for 3 months. It was absolutely a hard thing for me to stay outside in cold with no heat, selling newspaper and earning $200 a week, right? It was a hard thing. And pregnant wife. And we have no home, no support.
you know this is kind of very motivating for us like the youth these days because like so I told you like a person with that CV, like a person with that background coming to US and starting from scratch actually, right? it would have been very difficult. And like we people who are blessed enough, who have those privileged backgrounds, people who are parents who are supporting, and we feel sometimes that like things are not going the way it should be. And because of that little egos we have, because like that was the beautiful use of the ego which you did. Like Iqbal said, the ultimate aim of the ego is not to see something but to
Correct.
be something.
Correct.
So you wanted to be something, and for that you sacrificed for like those 3 6 12 months maybe, or even years you worked. I read that you worked really hard, you went to a lot of companies, and yeah, then you achieved a lot of respect among those companies. So that journey would have been very difficult but beautiful in a way that you didn't quit. You came here, you worked hard at that age with that pregnant wife, and it was beautiful, and that is commendable. And I guess we can learn a lot of things from that,
Thank you.
that even in the darkest days, if you work hard, you don't quit, you have faith in yourself and in Allah, you can achieve those things, and that's
100%.
beautiful. And what would you like to say to the youth, especially on this?
So my ultimate message for everyone is, first of all, never give up. Your destiny is written, regardless. But what Allah says, work hard and talk to me. I always talk to Allah. I still do every night. And I said to Allah, help me. Because He's saying, I'm closer than this. If He's saying that, who am I going to ask? Who is my friend? It's He. He's the one who's with me, and I trust me on that. When you have that strong belief and you connect it to God, you will get whatever you want. You have to work hard for it. So that 3 months of job, it didn't deteriorate me or kill me or nothing. It just gave me more hope. And I said, this is not who I am. I will get American dream. In my, I wrote somewhere at that time on my bathroom glass, that is, what is my 5-year goal? So, because I learned from long time ago, I forgot the name of the motivator. He said, if you want to achieve a goal, write on the glass in the bathroom, and you just follow that. So I wrote down, I want to be I want to be on a top level in US. I want to have a Mercedes S 500. I want
Yeah,
to have a
and you
house.
got that. Yeah, I
And
read
trust
it.
me,
Yeah, yeah.
I got that.
So manifestation works, right?
5 years.
Yeah,
I got the top level in United States. I
yeah,
became the corporate leader for AT&T as a regional
yeah, yeah.
director. Right?
Yes,
I get it. I get it. And that's what the sky's the limit.
true. Khansab, a little question which you can add into it. What kept you pushing? Like those dark days, what kept you pushing, and what was like the motivating part which kept you like working hard? That
My rock, my wife.
Shahid, you have discussed about her and the
Shaheen is the rock of my life.
beautiful.
Without her, I don't think I would have reached here, because she never give up. And she always says, I'm happy. If we are living in a 2-bed apartment and it's nothing there, or it's really, because she belonged to a very good family, very good background. So she also sacrificed a lot, but she never
Obviously.
complained. Till today, I have given her everything she could imagine, and she does not take anything, not even a credit card. I gave her like a long, big limit, and she never spent a dollar. I said, what are you doing? She said, I don't need it. You are with me. So that's my rock of my life. That she always, always supported me. And she said, don't worry, it's just the beginning. I'm seeing the success in the end. And I'm kept going till today.
That's beautiful. So if you have that support system with you,
100%.
I guess we can go miles. Like
100%.
if we have that support. So let's have another question on this topic. So you had a topic describing about your wife, even in the beginning of the book, and there was a middle chapter in which you discussed about love and relationships. So what is love for you? If you would like to describe love, what is love for you? How do you describe love?
I think if you are loving someone, You must love them with all good and bad. You have to accept it, first of all. And if you're going to have strings attached to it, then this is not love. That's a compromise. So with her, and I must tell you something on air, she has no faults. I mean, everybody has a fault, as every human being, except Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But in my eyes, she's the complete woman. She is the woman I can blindly trust. If she tells me that I'm at the edge of the mountain and she says, jump, I'll jump because she's telling me over there you're going to be survive. Although I see I'm not going to survive. So love is it's a very, like you have a love to Allah, right? A lot of people say they love Allah, but they don't. If you love Allah, then you listen to Allah, right? In Urdu, we say, हम अल्लाह को तो मानते हैं पर अल्लाह की नहीं मानते, right? Allah is telling you to pray namaz. Do you pray namaz? No. I'm busy. You don't go to salat. You don't go to masjid. Then you don't love Allah. So when I say I love Allah, so I first love Allah. I carry on my 5 namaz. I do whatever good deeds I can, and I do not hurt people. I'm sure, alhamdulillah, there is nobody out there in this world will say, I hurt them purposely. Maybe I'm a human being. Maybe indirectly I might have, but purposely I've never done anything wrong. So when I'm loving her, she's a creation of Allah. So I loved him. Now I'm loving the creation. And that creation, I love to the last breath.
I can
To
imagine.
the last.
I can imagine that, and I can see those tears as well discussing your wife, and that is very beautiful. I must say. Plus, I guess I'll have to recommend you that the next book is going to be on love,
Yes.
not just a chapter.
There is a next book
Because,
coming.
like, yeah, it should. Because, like, there was a chapter of it. I guess now the book should be on love, just
Yes.
in which you can explain. And the beautiful part of it, that I love that part. That what happens is, like, obviously, if I am perfect, everyone is going to love me. I guess the real love is going to be when I love the imperfections of my partner, right?
Correct.
Because, like, so if she's doing something good, everyone is going to like her, obviously, right? And when she does something wrong, that is when loves come, when you are going to accept her the way she is.
Exactly.
And I guess that's the most beautiful part. And
But she never hurt me, to be honest.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, she gave me 3 beautiful children. And I can tell you, I have 2 daughters and a son. And all 3 are so obedient, so loving children.
Mashallah.
They're like when somebody asks Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that how do I get a heaven on earth? Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if you have a good wife, obedient children, and halal rizq, you got the heaven. And I got all 3. I have not a single dollar in my account which is haram.
Mashallah.
Everything I've done with my own hard work, hard earned money.
Beautiful.
In America, I'm absolutely a self-made person. Absolutely. Everything I did is my own effort and Allah's help, as well as my wife's support. And that's it. There's no one can come and forward and tell me, oh, you are here because of me, or I got you the job, or I supported you here, or I gave you the money. No, nobody can say that.
Beautiful.
Nobody.
And the what other part I love the most was, like, so that was true that the relationship we have with Allah is that we say that we love Allah, but actually, I was watching a video in which said that if you don't have anything, when then iman like comes in place. If you don't have money, you don't have anything. That is when faith comes in, right? Like if I have money and I am trusting money more than Allah, right? Then I feel more relieved or relaxed if like I have money. And when I don't have money, then I get, that anxiety because like I was putting more trust on that money other than Allah. So the love with God is actually, it is a very beautiful relationship which everyone should have. And even Quran says if you want to get that peace, that is when you discuss Allah, when you read about Allah, then you are going to get the ultimate peace we talk about. But yeah, that's the very beautiful thing. Most of the people, they don't discuss this, that if we have to love Allah, then we have to follow that path
100%.
which they said, or like the follow the path of the prophet and follow what Allah says. So
100%.
then I guess that's the test of, like, it's very easy to say that I love Allah, but it's very hard to implement that love, right?
I just want to add one more thing, and I think the viewers will understand and follow probably. In Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, "La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha." I do not give you difficulties more than what you can bear.
Yeah,
He knows
true,
that.
true.
So if you see yourself or anyone in your family and you see they are struggling, but they're still surviving, they're not dead, right? They're still paying bills because Allah is giving them the test to their strength. Not, he doesn't want to kill you, right? And he only gives the test to the people he loves. And I always follow the dua Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu said, that he says, never ever tell Allah that test me. You cannot give the test. So when I do the dua,
Beautiful.
I say to Allah, please do not test me. I am not capable of your test.
Beautiful.
Please, I know you love to do, like Hazrat Ayub, Prophet Ayub, he was given the most test than anyone else in the world. Sabr Ayub, you read about in Quran, he had the worst disease, he lost his family, he lost his wealth, and Shaitan, the devil, was keep going to him and ask him, hey, look what your Allah is doing to you. Do you still believe him? And he said, yes, I still believe him. So he keeps going back and forth to Allah. He said, this guy, I'm going to turn him around and he's not going to shukr to you. And Allah Ta'ala says, go try it. Everything. When he lost everything, Shaitan says, do you still think Allah is your survivor, is your leader, is your God, everything? Hazrat Ayub says, yes. He said, I give up. I cannot turn you around. So we don't want that. Nobody can do this. So always do the dua.
This is very beautiful, and I guess we need to talk more about it. We don't have those sort of discussions in which we discuss these important parts of our religion or of our life, actually, where lives are based on our religion, right? So I guess we need to have more these sort of
100%.
conversations in which, because your things that are actually helping me, and if I see my problems, the solution is over there, like the things you discuss. So I guess we can learn a lot of it. So I guess we need to have more sort of
Today I'm
discussion.
going to tell you a dua
Yeah,
and I'm
please.
going to tell all your audience.
Yeah, please.
And I am 100% believer because it's happening to me every day.
Okay, perfect.
The dua is, if you wake up, Rasulullah Pak says, in the middle of the night, that is a sign from Allah. And what that sign is, you wake up, if you can, pray. If not, just say these dua, which I'm going to tell you, and ask what you want. And I must tell you, I started this dua 3 weeks ago. I cannot tell you what I got. I cannot tell you.
Excited to hear that.
I swear to God. If I start telling people like, oh, wow, so I don't want to say it, but I am very humble what Allah has given me in that 3 weeks in my entire life. So dua is, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu walahul mulk walahul hamd wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. ये पढ़ के आप
So
दुआ So
Beautiful. And I guess one of the most important parts of dua is like you need to have faith on it, right? Without faith,
oh, of course,
because I have read
everything is
a
faith.
hadith, without faith, there is no point of dua. Allah do not accept those prayers which on which we don't have that faith. So I guess faith is very important. So let's discuss concept. Let's discuss the most important part of the podcast, that tragic event which happened in on 9/11, and a lot of lives changed. I guess the world changed after that incident, because like everything happened after that was like it was different. And especially being a Muslim living in New York and near that incident, I know things changed a lot for you, especially. What was that thing, how your life changed, what happened actually on 9/11 for you?
So it's a very painful event that we are going to discuss right now because that changes my life drastically. I am probably one of the only surviving 9/11. That's what my book says. Because on the day when this happened, I crossed that tower, Twin Tower, because I was working with PC Richard as a general manager. So it was some kind of detours, and I went that way. And I reached my store in Brooklyn in Flatbush Avenue, which is only 10, 15, 20 minutes away. I passed that not knowing what's going to happen in 20 minutes later. And I reached my store and I'm doing my work as a general manager. And then TV was on and somebody said, "Look, this guy's crazy. Just hit the World Tower, Trade Tower." I'm like, "What?" I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Wow, what a crazy guy. What did he do?" We are not knowing what's happening. And then, cut the story short, everybody knows what happened. His boat plane hit the tower. The life was changed in that hour for the entire world. Everything was frozen. I was like shocked. I'm like, what's going on? All these military aeroplanes are flying, and oh, it's a chaos, and kind of too much dust and sorrows, and it's just crazy. So I was living in Long Island, where I'm still living. So from Brooklyn to Long Island, if you're traveling, it's only about an hour.
Yeah, true.
Right. That day it took me 6 hours to reach home because traffic was jammed, cell phones were not working, everything was completely uh, a chaos, havoc. And when I reached home, my wife and kids, they were all crying. They thought I was there or something, or I'm dead or something. So they saw me, they start crying. I start crying, and they were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" I said, "I don't know." So for a whole month on the TV, all we watch 9/11, right? Looking at 9/11, 9/11, and everything like we feel sorry, we feel hurtful for the people who lost their lives and everything. But that was that. And then I went to my job. When I was there, then FBI approached me. So, "We need to speak to you, Mr. Khan. Talk to me." Uh, Not here. Shall we come to your home? I said, "Yeah, come to my home." I don't know what they're talking about because they didn't tell me anything. They came to my home next day. Not one, not two, or a dozen FBI. And they're all coming into my house. I said, "Whoa, what's going on here? You said you want to talk to me, and now you got all this team." They said this is a Patriot Act, which means they can detain anyone 6 months or more without any charges. And they said we are allowed to do it. I said, "So what do you want to do?" So I want to search your house. Okay, search my house. So went everywhere, check everything in my home. Didn't find anything. And now my children, the young children, three children, they are crying. My wife is crying. We're all like thinking, what's going to happen? What they going to do to me or us, all family? And then FBI guy said, "Well, do you know these terrorists?" I said, "Not really. I mean, I've seen on the newspaper. That's all I know. Do you have any connections?" "No, I don't. Why would I have connection with them? You know, right? We need to take you in." I said, "For what?" He said, "Because we need to interrogate you." I said, "If I don't," he said, "then we'll handcuff you and take you." I said, "Okay, don't do that in front of my children. Don't handcuff me." So at least they gave me that respect. They put me in the car, handcuffed me, took him to the center in Long Island, interrogate me, question me. I answered all the questions. Few hours later, they found nothing. Obviously, there was nothing to found. But they didn't release me. They sent me to the Passaic County Jail in New Jersey. Now I'm in prison, and I'm like, oh my God, what? And then my wife and children don't know where I am because I have no cell phone, no money, nothing. A quarter in my pocket. And they put me in a, the prison van you see, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
windows.
yeah.
It's like a refrigerator cell type thing as you are there. I'm like, so I was kept like as a criminal. And I went to there and then they completely strip search. So took my clothes down and the dogs are barking at me and you're standing naked in front of people. And this is like humiliation. And I'm thinking, wow, what's what is going on in my life?
All of a
As a
sudden, every,
general manager, PC Richard, now you are in a prison as a
all of a sudden,
inmate all of a sudden, right? So that's something went to zero that time. Took my pictures and all those FBI type pictures, like they do this and that, and like a criminal record type thing. I went and stayed with the inmates, and there are people, murderers and thieves and smugglers and all type of people there. And they're looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen movies. And I'm like, what they're going to do to me now? Thank God, being Allah is always on my side. That was basically Ramadan time coming. So I start praying. And then there were few people there. They were Muslims, black Muslims. They said, we want you to be the Imam. So they make me the imam. We start doing tarawih, and everybody sees my personality, who I am. In the meantime, I contacted President Bush, Hillary Clinton, Dick Cheney, Congressman Peter King. So all these people, I said, my daughter, I told her, I said, because I
he
contacted
wrote
them.
those
She
letters.
wrote them,
I
right?
read
Right.
those letters.
Yes, so she did a beautiful job. She said, Papa, what do you want me to do? I said, contact
Write
them,
those letters.
write those letters. So those letters came back. They all want to help. As it's in my book, you can see it.
And
And
even it was on the headline. Every news
it's
was
there.
covering the story.
I was kind of a celebrity because at that time I was all over the world.
Yeah.
CNN,
Yes.
Channel 9, 7, 11, 4, 7, 5,
Everyone
Post,
was
Newsday. And everybody asking a question, why this guy is in jail? Take him out
without any
without
charge,
any charges.
without any notice.
So
Yeah.
finally, when it got too much pressure, FBI came on TV and they said, okay, Mr. Khan is innocent, basically. So we are all relieved. Oh, great. And what they did is my lawyer told me, uh, his name was Ronald. He says, well, they're not going to release you. I said, what do you mean? He said, we don't know, but I know they will. I said, okay. So we didn't know what was happening. On a Sunday, the FBI came and they said, put your clothes on, you're going home. I said, oh, okay. Happy. I got a Lincoln car outside the prison. I sat in the Lincoln, sitting like, oh, good job, I'm done. And then laying down and I'm like, Long Island is this way,
This is not home.
right? That's not my home. I said, no, you're going your actual home. I said, actual home? What's my actual home?
What do you mean by that?
Right? Oh, Pakistan. I said, you cannot send me Pakistan. He said, yes, we do. Here's a deportation order. I said, I didn't sign it. You don't need to.
It's an order.
Now, technically, I was here on political asylum. On political asylum, you cannot send
That back to
Same
the country
country.
because,
It's
like,
a danger.
obviously there was a threat.
But they did it. I never pursue against the US government or FBI because, in my opinion, I love this country. They did what they had to do. They were ordered what to
It
do.
was their job.
It was their job. So people told me, oh, you should have sued them and got millions. I said, no, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do different. I'm going to go in politics. I'm going to tell everyone,
That
don't
would
bow
happen.
down, right? So I've been deported there, and from there, I called my family, as it's in the book, and they were like, oh, wow, what's going on here? So they then did not stay. So they left US as well,
Obviously.
right? When we went to Pakistan, we got threats. Because then people know I'm back again,
That's another story. Yeah.
right? That's another story.
Yeah. So Khan Sahab, I have a question. I know it is going to be a personal question. It is going to be emotional for you, but if you are comfortable, please do share. How was the experience in that cell? Because like all of a sudden everything was changed. You were working in your company, your family didn't know, and all of a sudden that incident, that shocking incident, that it was terrible. Obviously, it was sad that happened, and like all of a sudden your life changed. You are from home, you are to that prison. Your family didn't know. How was the experience in that jail? How would you describe that?
I had nightmares that time because can you imagine you're sitting right now and next day you find yourself with hardcore criminals in the jail. How would you feel? Right? Your whole life is changed and you become negative about it. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't done anything. Why? Why? I never even have a parking ticket in my name. What's happening with me? But again, Allah has given me this strength. I took it just on my chin. I said, okay, if it is what it is, then I will do that. But that experience was but horrible for me because being as a law abiding citizen, I wasn't expecting myself to prison anytime. So then living with those people, I had a fear. You got 20 people living in one cell, one bathroom, and it's no door. You're sitting there. When you're taking shower, you're naked. I mean, it's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're eating food, like you see in the prison, it's actually worse. And then they give you 20 minutes on the roof to get the fresh air. That's like your treat, right? And then Eid happened, and some Muslim guy gave us the biryani. Man, I can tell you, I
That experience.
never thank enough to Allah
So
that day
when you that had
because
biryani.
that biryani was like the biggest treat of my life.
True.
I got biryani. Can I have one more? No. I said, okay. So I eat every single piece with so much love. Because we take things as granted,
Yeah, true.
right? We driving a good car, we think, yeah, okay, so it's a good car.
fine,
But when you don't have it, then you know what you are missing.
True.
So I missed everything in my life that time. 3 months I was in prison. Those 3 months,
Were terrible.
horrible.
Yeah, I guess we cannot even imagine that because you were
There's no way you can imagine.
true,
Trust me.
true. We have watched those movies and we can get those experience obviously, but you were there, so it was, and especially for a white collar person like the work you are in, and all of a sudden the life changes. It would have been a very terrible experience, and I am so sorry for that. But
I'm not a victim. I'm a fighter.
yeah, this is what I'm coming. So you went back to Pakistan, started like from the scratch again, and became the general manager in like in ARY News, right? Then you went to UK. You started from the scratch over there. Started working with AT&T, right? You were
In UK, I was working with British Telecom.
yeah, you were working with British Telecommunication, and you became a part of it, and you worked very hard, and they just promoted you, and then you came back to US back in I which
2016.
26 now, which I write those for like you left this country for like 15 years and came back. What was the process? What were you thinking like when you were coming back, and how did they accept you? How was the
So the part of small transition in Pakistan, thanks to Iqbal Bhai, who has given me the general manager of state. So as I said, I go from zero to hero.
yeah, exactly.
So from prison, again go to ARY, then from ARY to again zero in UK as a salesperson, then again become regional director for British Telecom in UK. And then I have successful businesses in UK and all that. So transition was great. And again, I never think, oh, I was on that level, now I'm this level. I say, okay, no issues. Uh, in UK, I had a very successful life. Basically, I'm also a UK citizen. My children, they studied there in UK. So why I decide to come to US is I always loved this country.
It is a great country,
It's a
actually.
great
Yeah.
country. And whoever ever came to United States and lived here, trust me, he would not like any country in the world.
I can vouch for that.
Right?
Yeah.
I lived in UK. I lived in Pakistan. I also had chance to live in Dubai, and I don't see that. I don't see that. So when in 2016 I called the INS and say I want to come back, they say okay, come back. I said okay. What do I have to do? And they said just fill out the paperwork. So I fill out the paperwork. I got the green card expedited very quickly. There was nothing stopping or anything. There was no criminal record, obviously. It was cleared at that time. And then I came here, and the great part of this story is I left this country in
2001.
2001 as a general manager. PC Richard
PC Richard, yeah.
came back in 2016 as a general manager
In PC Richard.
in PC Richard. Because I prayed to God. I said to Allah, I want you to please revive everything I have. Now that's a dua.
Yeah.
You don't expect that's going to happen, right?
But it
So
happened.
guess what? I called Greg Richard, who's the CEO of the PC Richard, and I said, Greg, I'm coming back. He said, come on, brother. I got you the same job. I said, wow. So I went there. I got the job. Then I lived in the same place where I was before. So everything I had
Came back.
came back to me with honor. So that's the time I also decided, I said, you know what? I need to go into politics. I need to now help people and give this country what it gives me. I'm giving back to the country. And now when I started the politics, I said, it happened and it can happen to anyone. Don't give up. Don't bow down. Work hard. It pays.
Hats off to you, Khan Saab. Like, I know the things you are saying very easily, but I know the struggle behind that, because, like, it is very easy to say, but you have spent years on it. Like, so a lot of all of a sudden your life changes, you go back to zero. The best part of your whole journey is that you didn't quit.
No, bro.
You always kept working hard, and just striving that to become a better person, to become a better human being. And the other best part was, I guess, a normal person like us, like in your place, they would have become very negative in the situation, that everything happens to me is bad, that negative.
It's normal.
Yeah, it is very normal to that, because our negative mindsets comes in between the, like, process. So we start, like, instead of thanking Allah, we just, start blaming or something like that.
Yes, true.
So the best part was, you had that gratefulness. You just you were grateful to like Allah for everything He gave you. You struggled hard and you got everything back, and you are the part of the system now. And still, the good words for US coming from your side, I know it is very hard, but it's beautiful the way you are saying. So that is commendable, that you are this still appreciating the country. And I have been in the US, it's been a year, and I know it's a wonderful country. And yeah, because before coming to the US, I didn't hear good things about, like, I thought, like, people told me that it's a racist country or something like that.
Absolutely not.
But it's one of the most beautiful countries, and they accept everyone, the freedom they give to us, the liberty we have. We can practice our religion, we can do anything we want. Yeah, but we have to pay taxes, right? And so one of the best countries I had, and it was beautiful. And the thing coming from you, the words you were saying, it's commendable, I guess. It should be appreciated that you became a part of it, because, like, otherwise, I guess, normal people, they wouldn't have joined politics, but you became a part of it. And you are helping other people to become the part of the system and help other people. How, like, please describe it in words, like, how this is happening with you, like, that motivation which is coming from you, like, which is helping you to work on the same pattern, like, on and off, like, every time.
It is it's a very hard thing to do, I must tell you that, to stay positive. And what I learned in my life, I stay away from negative people
Beautiful.
until today. If somebody sitting with me and start talking negative, I stand up. I say, "I'm sorry, I gotta go." So what do you mean? I said, "You're talking negative. I cannot take it." I said, "What do you mean? But we have." I said, "No, we don't." When you see this glass, everyone, or not everyone, but most people would say this is half empty. I don't see half empty. I see half full, and that's a positivity,
Optimistic
right?
approach. Yeah.
So you have to be that way.
Beautiful.
So I stayed positive, and because of this positiveness, it never took me off the path. The path that I'm following is path of Allah and strength and the direction. It's all about positivity. And
Beautiful.
when I came to the US and started doing the politics, so many people have stopped me. I don't want to mention the names, but when they hear this, they would know. Oh, you cannot go to the politics. Do you have $500,000 or $1 million? I said, what has to do with that? Well, you need this money to be in politics. I said, but how do you know I don't have it? Yeah, but I don't think you can be successful. You should start maybe as a council or something lower level first, and then. I said, no, I always come from top because I believe in Allah.
Beautiful.
He says, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. So why should I go from bottom? I could go from top. Oh, you're not going to be successful. I say, it's between me and him, not you. You cannot decide. I had a lot of leg pullings, a lot of negative people. In our community, it's a dilemma. It's a fitna. That, first of all, in the history of New York State, there's never been a Pakistani, Indian, or other person is a congressman or senator or assemblyman.
True. True.
Never. So if somebody took this courage, a guy like me who has no skeleton in my closet, not even a parking ticket, who is the president of CDRS,
Yes.
helping heart caring souls president. Then I'm also part of other women to women organizations and
Yeah.
a lot of philanthropy organizations. Then I'm running different companies as a CEO. These things are there to show my community services, right?
Beautiful.
And then you're trying to take me off the path. So Alhamdulillah, I ran very well. And recently, party chairman asked me that we want you to do a bigger job. So, okay, what is that? So we want to give you a vice chair job as a New York State. So they offered me the job, and then it's up to you if you want to step down running for Senate. It's your choice. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? I cannot do both at the same time,
Obviously.
right? So
Just
I spoke to my donors who has given me the donations. I took their decision. I asked them, I said, this is the position. If you want, I will keep going.
I get it.
Or I can step down and take this post. And there was no strings attached from the party that you have to take this to do this. This is your choice. We're giving you position regardless. So I took it. I stepped down. But I am running for state senate in 2026. That's for sure. I'm not leaving. No.
Yeah, I can vouch for that
No,
because like your past history says that you are coming hard
I am
on
coming
everything.
more harder.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I can see that. Hans, a very short, two questions, very short. What's happening in this upcoming election? Who is winning?
So the problem here in US, they use the word lesser evil, right, of two. Republicans party, and I'm not talking about just on the party lines.
Yeah.
I personally, when I joined Democrat Party, and I'm always a Democrat, I never change. I'm not a Lota. Who basically, if let's say, for example, tomorrow Republican order
The government, which government is coming, you're
right?
telling.
They offer me a mayor job. So I should leave Democrat? No, absolutely not. So what happened is, here in US, Democrat is a good party. Whatever is happening currently, what Biden is doing, is not just his decision. It has Senate and Congress behind him.
It's the whole system.
It's a system. What they're doing, anyone who becomes the president of the United States will do exactly what Biden have done. This is the policy matter. This is not a personal preference.
So it's the establishment we talk
It's the
about.
establishment. This is how the system works, whether you like it or you don't like it.
So you're coming in power again?
Absolutely. I can tell you, because Trump, if you hear his,
So and another question.
yeah,
What's the future of Trump?
see, the problem with the Trump, he's got a mega movement behind him, and then he just raised $141 million. So money talks, right? I hope he doesn't win.
Well,
But if he did, the brown people will have trouble. I can tell you that. And we are brown people, right?
but he has a lot of support now. Trump.
But this is the problem. Our people, you see, you need to understand politics in a deep way. That what this guy will do or did in the past, he had people attacked on Capitol. In the history of United States, nobody attacked Capitol. He did that because he didn't win, right? Imagine if he doesn't win this election. I'm afraid what people will do. I really do. Now, whether Biden is coming or is he being replacing by someone, or whether he's going to stay alive by that time, nobody
Democrats are coming,
knows. Yes, that's for sure.
I get it. I am in love with this conversation. The conversation we had, it was very interesting for me. The experience I had, I learned a lot of things from you, and I know that we are going a long way.
Absolutely.
We are going to work together for a lot of things which we discussed. So hopefully I'll have you back again, and we'll start working together for the betterment of our society. Let's just conclude this as like a message you want to give our people, the youth, or anyone you want. You can just give a message, final message, a short message which you would like to give us.
The big, loud, and clear message that I want to give it to, especially to the youth, is go out there, be positive, don't take negative from anyone, come to the politics, join politics. When you are behind that table, you can do a lot.
True.
Empty drums speaks louder. That means nothing. You can do protests, you can do whatever you want to do, but if you're not in power, you're nobody. And the second thing I want to say to our community is stop leg pulling. This is our bad habit. No other community does that. I sat with different communities and I see that they will not do what our people do. If somebody is running for the office, help them. Give them a chance. You're not doing it. You don't have the courage. He or she is doing it. Let them be. And if they don't prove themselves, replace them. This is this whole beauty of the system is you don't do your job, you're not coming back here. But in Pakistan, if you do a job or not, you'll still come back, right? Not here. So my message is work with your people, help your community, give your community the business, the support, especially Nakash. He's doing a great job, right? And I really applaud for this. What have you done here? What a setup it is. And I have really believe in you as a young person. You can go miles move forward, and I'm always going to be behind you. I'll help you. I'll tell everyone to join your podcast, work with you, promote you, support you, because you're doing a betterment for our community. You're bringing our voices out.
Thank you so much, Khansa, for these kind words. As I told earlier, the big person, like a person with that character, that charisma. When we are sitting with people like you, we don't feel those little people. We feel that we are big people. So
I'm very
that's wonderful of you. Thank you so much for coming, and inshallah we'll like keep bothering you to come here and talk more about things, about life, about love, so we can help other people. Thank you so much, Khan Saab. Thank you so much for coming. It was wonderful having you.
Thank you for having me, and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, guys, for watching the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let us know with your feedback. If you have any questions, we can have Khan Sahab again back here. If you want to have another question, you can ask him. And please read his book. It was lovely. It was amazing. It was a complete journey of his life. So you will love that book. And please, if you have any questions related to the book, please do ask, and I'll mention his Instagram and Facebook. You can directly talk to him. Thank you so much, guys, and keep watching the Nakash Khan Show. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you, Khan Sahab.